Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Today we're looking at an article called A City Without Cars in Spain.
Ooh, now that sounds really interesting, but also a little confusing. How can you be in a city and have no cars? I feel like we have to rely on cars. They take us places and bring us things, and I don't know, that seems really hard to do.
Well, actually, recently I was in a place which is the largest car-free urban area in the world. So the largest city place with no cars. And that's in Morocco. It's a city called Fez. So Fez has its ancient walled city, which has been there for, a thousand years or so, and people still live there, but there aren't any cars in that city center because the streets are so narrow that you could never drive a car down them.
Well, I guess that makes sense because if they built it 1,000 years ago and not having any idea that cars would eventually show up, they probably made the streets just the right size for maybe horses or like carts that you might carry, and they didn't need to make it any bigger than that. That sounds really interesting. Was it a fun experience? Would you go back to that kind of city?
It was an interesting city, and I could go back. I don't know if I need to soon because I just saw it, but it's an interesting city to visit for sure because you can still see lots of people working in the city, carrying trolleys of goods and also using donkeys to move around the streets.
Oh, interesting. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into another city that has this same kind of idea of no cars, but this city is in Spain.
Pontevedra is a busy city in Spain. In the 1990s, thousands of cars would drive through its center every day. That caused lots of noise, accidents, and pollution. It was a big problem, and in 1999, Pontevedra took action to fix it.
Okay, so today we are looking at a city without cars in Spain, and this is part 1. So we are going to be looking at a city that has chosen to get rid of cars and how exactly that kind of came about. So let's go ahead and get into the article to see.
All right. Pontevedra is a busy city in Spain. In the 1990s, thousands of cars would drive through its center every day. Okay, so back in the 1990s, there were thousands of cars there and they would drive through the center of this city. So the center is the middle point of something or the place that is equally away from the sides of something in the middle. So if you think of a city center like the center of this city, it is the place that's just in the middle within the boundaries of the city, or can also be meant to mean the busiest place with the most things going on in a city.
Yes, and so as you can see, this is only in the 1990s that they still had cars kind of driving around and being busy. So I'm wondering when or why did they decide to change it after having so many years with cars? So I think we'll find that out in a little bit. But first, let's go to Tina.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分 ，center， 名词，中心。The hotel is right in the city center. 这家饭店位在市中心。我们再来看一下文法重点，刚刚课文提到了 thousands of 加名词，数以千计的。thousand 表示1000。我们来看看这个例句。Thousands of people visited the museum last month. 上个月有数以千计的人参观了这个博物馆。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so we are back. And so we are still looking at this idea that they had cars for a long time and it was very busy, but in the 90s, they decided they didn't want cars. So why? Well, if we look at the article, it says that, meaning having a bunch of cars driving around in the city center, that caused lots of noise, accidents, and pollution. Well, here, of course, we know noise is very loud, but we also had this word accident. An accident is something that happens not on purpose. You didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened with somebody maybe not being careful or not paying attention or something like that. You did not want it to happen, but it did, and it might have happened accidentally. Here we are using it as like a car accident. So this could be maybe a car crashing into another car, maybe crashing into a person, going up on the side of the road. All kinds of things would be considered a car accident, which is probably what they are talking about in this article.
So we also mentioned pollution. Pollution is when there's something in the environment that's not naturally there that is causing harm. It's harmful or poisonous. In this case, we're talking about pollution from cars. So we're talking about the exhaust or the gas that comes out the back of a car and goes into the air and is not good for people or animals to breathe and is just not good for our environment. Pollution is not always a thing. It can be light pollution when there's too much light that it wasn't naturally there. Or even we can say noise pollution, which is when there's extra noise that doesn't belong in the environment and causes harm. Back to the article. It was a big problem. And in 1999, Pontevedra took action to fix it.
Okay, so 1999, the end of the 90s, they're like, hey, these are some negative things about having cars in the city, so what can we do to fix it?
Well, let's find out after we go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 accident 名词事故 Harry was safe after the small car accident. Harry 在一次小车祸后平安无事。Pollution 名词污染 The city is trying to reduce water pollution. 这个城市在努力降低水污染。Reduce 指的就是降低。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so we have been looking at this city of Pontevedra and how they are kind of going, we don't like all the cars and the noise and the pollution and the accidents, so they're going to do something fairly drastic in the end of the 90s, and we're going to find out a little bit more about that in the second part of this article.
That's right, and we'll be right back.
The city decided to put people first. It made its historic city center for pedestrians only. However, necessary cars like ambulances and delivery trucks could still enter. They could only travel at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Also, they couldn't stay for very long.
Welcome back. Before the break, we talked about how this city, Pontevedra in Spain, has decided to, get rid of cars after in the 1990s, they had thousands of cars driving through the city, but they caused lots of pollution and accidents. And so in 1999, they decided to do something about it.
Yes, and what did they do? Well, the article says the city decided to put people first. So if you are putting something first, it means you are making that thing the most important thing, the top priority or the top of your list of things to do. So you could say, this year in school, I am going to put grades first. So I'm going to really focus on my grades and try to do really good about that. Sometimes we say, I'm going to put myself first, meaning I'm going to start really taking care of myself and thinking about myself. But in our case here, the city decided to put all of its people first, meaning putting their health and happiness and safety above cars.
It made its historic city center for pedestrians only. So So it here is the city. The city decided to make its historic city center for pedestrians only. So pedestrians are people who are walking along the street or who are walking outside. They're not in a car, not on a bicycle or any other vehicle. They're people who are on foot. Okay, now let's go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的文法 ，put 加上名词 first， 把什么放在第一位。First 在这里是优先的意思。我们来看看这个例句 ：Sandra always puts her family first. Sandra 总是把家人放在第一位。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so we have just learned that this city of Pontevedra has decided to put its people first and make the city center totally car-free. Now, that sounds great and awesome, but you might be wondering, well, what if there's an emergency or an accident? Well, the next part of our article says, however, necessary cars like ambulances and delivery trucks could still enter. So yes, you cannot just drive your car through, but if somebody has an emergency, an ambulance could get to them, or if things need to be delivered, they could also get to where they need to go.
So this word ambulance, an ambulance is a vehicle that is specifically designed for moving sick or injured people. So you probably can think of a typical ambulance, which is like a van with a square back, and it sounds like whew, whew, whew. And you, I'm sure, have seen ambulances before. So everywhere needs to have ambulances to bring sick and injured people to the hospital. Back to the article, still talking about ambulances and delivery trucks. They could only travel at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Also, they couldn't stay for very long.
I'd say that second part probably is talking about the delivery trucks trying to get in and out quickly. I would say if it's an ambulance, they probably have a little bit more time that they could stay if they needed to, because again, they are responding to an emergency. So probably that last sentence is talking about the delivery trucks.
And maybe the ambulances can also go a little faster.
Yeah, I think maybe if it's a real emergency, they can go maybe a tiny bit faster than 30 kilometers an hour.
All right, well now let's go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 ambulance 名词救护车 The ambulance arrived quickly after the accident. 意外发生后，救护车迅速赶到。文法的部分刚刚提到了 at a speed of 以什么的速度 speed 是速度的意思。我们来看看这个例句 The cyclist was riding at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. 那位自行车骑士以每小时20公里的速度骑行。Cyclist 指的就是自行车骑士。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so we are back, and so we have been looking at this incredible city that has made a real effort to make their city center for pedestrians, people walking only. They have taken away the cars, except for those that are really necessary. And this seems to have had a very good impact on the city, but I wonder, what is the impact on people wanting to visit the city? And I think we are going to look at that a little bit more tomorrow.
All right, well, let's review the article again, and we'll see you then.
Pontevedra is a busy city in Spain. In the 1990s, thousands of cars would drive through its center every day. That caused lots of noise, accidents, and pollution. It was a big problem, and in 1999, Pontevedra took action to fix it. The city decided to put people first. It made its historic city center for pedestrians only. However, necessary cars like ambulances and delivery trucks could still enter. They could only travel at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Also, they couldn't stay for very long.
来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，center 名词中心 ，accident 名词事故 ，pollution 名词污染 ，ambulance 名词救护车。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，thousands of 加名词数以千计的 ，those birds fly thousands of miles south for the winter。那些鸟会向南飞数千英里过冬。Put 加名词 first， 把什么放在第一位。A good friend will put you first。好朋友会把你放在第一位。At a speed of 以什么的速度。I type at a speed of 65 words per minute。我的打字速度是每分钟65个字。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
It's time for Beer Box.
Okay, Kiki, step on up.
Okay, ready?
Okay. Really, shh.
Are you telling me to shut up?
Yes.
I know it's not alive.
I know it's not alive. You know why? Because that would be mean.
Ah! What is it?
You don't want to spook it. You don't want to
It's gonna spook me. Ew! Why is it kind of lumpy? It's little chunks and it's fluffy and soft and fuzzy. I like this feeling. I like playing with this. Can I stay here for longer?
It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
You should know this pretty well. What's your first thought?
It's pillow stuffing.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of right. Yeah, it's just stuffing.
It's stuffing.
And you should know that because you have 1,000 stuffed animals.
Well, that one was actually really fun.
Yeah, sometimes that can be nice.
I want to like lay on a pile of stuffing.
Well, don't because you should follow us on Instagram. Send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English and you just don't know how. Kiki, is there anything you want to say?
Are you gonna put an animal in here?
Kiwi later!